أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, we're here blessed once again to recite the Tarawih, and the mention that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentions that the one that stands in the night with hope and sort of what we call in Allah's forgiveness, right? That you have hope in the forgiveness of Allah, that He will forgive all of your previous sins. That just with the intention of having a slight hope in the forgiveness of Allah and with faith that inshallah Allah would forgive all your previous sins. So every night we have that chance, that opportunity that Allah forgives us all for the sins that we have ever done in the last year to this year. And this is the mercy of Allah, that the doors of mercy, they are open, flung open in the month of Ramadan. And it's really for us to take the opportunity, and these gatherings here in the masjids, wherever they may be, these are what we call gardens of opportunity for us. And it just depends who wants to take it. We sort of see the numbers at the beginning, everyone's mashallah, gear 5, and then slowly things drop off, right? That the way of our teachers is they will start with gear 5, and they'll just keep on going, right? Gear 6, gear 7. We tend to go the other way. So inshallah, this Ramadan, we should really make intention to refocus ourselves on the mercy of Allah. And why are we in Ramadan? What is our mission? Because going without food and drink, even the non-Muslims do it, right? Many non-Muslims do intermittent fasting, right? To live longer. So our goal isn't for that. Our goal is to fast for the sake of Allah, for His pleasure. Right? So inshallah, that's something to just introduce. What I want to really talk about today was what you guys see every single day. You come in, you see this poster, and what is it about? And mashallah, Ustad by Sajid and by Tahir, Imam Tahir, they've been talking about change. How can we bring change into our lives? And one of the biggest, what we call barriers of change, is bad habits. That all of our bad habits act as like a door between us and getting to Allah. So how can we get over these bad habits? And the teachers have mentioned there's 3 secrets of overcoming bad habits. Addictions, you can say. Right? And so the first, so let's say for example, some people have addiction of drugs, alcohol, pornography, womanizing, swearing, bad language. Everyone's got certain traits. And they mention normally people have 2 to 3 bad traits. That as a whole, you're not going to find someone that has, well, rarely you find someone has all of them. You're going to find that individually people are struggling with 2, 3 bad habits or addictions. So they mentioned the first way to overcome these addictions is to separate the time from when you're going to do it. So for example, let's say a person has a habit of swearing. One should try maybe putting a day that he's not going to swear. I'm going to spend 1 day not swearing. And then do that again, add another day. Now I'm going to spend 2 days not swearing. So bridging or making a distance between you and that habit and increasing that length that you go back into that habit. So that day will become a week. That week then inshallah will become a month. And then before you know it, 90 days have passed. And they mention after 90 days, whatever habit that you've been doing, it will eventually become easy. But the first part of it is a hurdle. They go, the first few days, that's where the pain is. That's where the test is. If all desires were easy to overcome, then this wouldn't be a test, right? So you have to find what your habit is. In this month, you got 30 days. Just target that one bad habit and work yourself 30 days on that. And you will see that you will overcome it. May that be bad swear, profanity. May that be pornography, whatever it may be. Put a barrier of days between you and that. And inshallah, you'll find that over time these sins will stop themselves, okay? The second, they mentioned the second advice that the teachers mentioned is to do not delay tawbah. Do not delay the fact that you've done this sin and now you're going to spend time thinking about it. You're going to spend time not asking Allah for forgiveness. That will cause you more issues than you waiting and waiting for Allah's mercy, and then thinking, oh, Allah won't forgive me. This sin I've done is way too much for Allah. When you think that, you basically put a barrier and you put a limit on Allah's mercy. And Allah's mercy has no limits. Allah's mercy has no limits. Allah mentions, if you bring to me sins of the oceans, filled of oceans, you would find my mercy overcomes that. So the second is what? What did I mention the second is? I'm saying it like 5 times, look at the echo, so you should definitely hear me. There's a button for echo there. But while I ask the question, anyone has got the answer? What's the second? To break a habit. To put distance between you and tawbah. Don't delay asking Allah for forgiveness. That's the second one. The first one we mentioned is put days between you and the sin. Add as many days as you can between yourself and the sin. Right, that's the second one. And then the last one and the final one is have the right mindset. Don't think negatively. Many of us think, oh, I'm so bad, I'm evil, and they fall into despair. That's what Shaitan wants. He wants you to give up. And they mention you only lose a fight when you stay on the floor. Right, when the fighter falls on the canvas, you only lose a fight when he doesn't get up. So as a Muslim, and Shaitan takes us down with sin, our job isn't to lay there and be like, oh no, Allah's forsaken me, I can't get forgiveness, I'm an evil person. No, your job is to get back up and continue. And even if you die in that state, inshallah, our teachers mention that you'll be resurrected as someone that's never done that sin. Because your intention was what? To get rid of that sin. And we could give many examples. One is a man that killed 100 people. He made intention, I'm not going to kill 100 people. And he died upon that intention, and what? He was taken to paradise. Based on, not that he actually physically stopped for more than even a day or 3-4 days, just because of the intention of, I'm not going to now sin. For that he was forgiven. So inshallah, every and each one of us has a habit. We know everyone has a habit. No one's beyond having a bad habit. We are human. That is part and parcel of who we are. But it's the difference between you and the awliya is working on those habits. He's fighting every single day. Right? So be one of those people that you find a habit. Number one, you put days between you and the habit. You don't delay tawbah. And you don't have a mindset of, I give up, I can't fight this. Right? And inshallah, with that intention and with that niyyah, you will find that habits start falling one by the other. But if you don't start that battle, you don't start that fight, you can't expect anything. Right? You can't expect to reach Allah in or outside of Ramadan if you have what we call a losing mentality. Right? They say some people are like trees. When the desires come, they sort of go with the wind. Some are like grass. Right? They're already fallen, they're given up. But there are people who are mountains. And they mentioned, Imam Busiri, he mentioned in his Burda Sharif that the Sahaba were like mountains. Why? Because no matter what came towards them, they didn't just turn, they didn't give up. They stayed fixed in their position. And so as Muslims, we need to be like mountains. Right? Not like grass or trees that the desires come and we fall over. Right? That we can forgo food and drink for 14-15 hours. Yeah? So you already proved to yourself you can do it. Allah's showing you, look, you're not weak. You think you can't go without food? You can go without food. You think you can't go without water? You can go without water. So now put that same willpower towards a bad habit that you have. Right? And inshallah you'll see the fruits. سبحان الله بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك أعوذ من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار اللهم عافني في بدننا اللهم عافني في سمعنا اللهم عافني في بصرنا لا إله إلا أنت Ya Rabbil Alameen, our Imam Daniel, he is ill, Ya Allah give him shifa. And all those people, our followers who come and pray here, Ya Allah, who are ill, give them a quick shifa and a quick recovery and allow them to return. Ya Rabbil Alameen, all those who have passed away recently, grant the Jannah Firdaus. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.